Well, China's successful launch of a science satellite triggered Taiwanese authorities to issue emergency warnings to residents. The incident happened as Foreign Minister Joseph Wu was holding a media briefing.
In Taiwan, there's this drama about a Chinese satellite cruising over, causing a fake air raid scare right before the big presidential vote. The ruling party says it's not a political stunt, but the other side is side-eyeing them, wondering what's up. The mix-up came when the government made an air raid, but turns out it was a goof. The defense ministry apologized for dropping the word missile in there. Taiwan's all like, "China, you're messing with our election," while China's rolling its eyes, calling it dirty tricks. It's a wild ride of accusations and mix-ups, adding a twist to the already tense Taiwan-China relationship. Next Generation Economics brings you the latest economic, financial, and global news from different parts of the world. If you are new here on our channel, enjoy learning about different topics on a global level. You will find our videos intriguing. In this video, we'll explore China's launch of a satellite over Taiwan. Watch this video till the end and find out the reasons behind China's moves. Let's get started. In Taiwan, there's a big deal about a Chinese satellite flying over, causing a false alarm for an air raid. This happened right before the upcoming presidential elections. The presidential office in Taiwan says they won't see it as China trying to mess with their elections. However, the opposition party is questioning why the false alarm was even given. The mix-up occurred when the government issued an air raid alert, but it turned out to be a mistake. The defense ministry apologized for using the word missile in the alert. Even though Taiwan doesn't think it's a political move, they've accused China several times of trying to interfere with their elections, whether through military or other means. China calls these accusations dirty tricks. The person running for president from the ruling party in Taiwan, Lai Ching-te, supported the defense ministry's move to show where the satellite flew over in southern Taiwan. He said it's important for people to know and not get things wrong. If any parts from the satellite are found, they can give them to the right authorities. China, on the other hand, said the satellite launch was a regular thing and had nothing to do with Taiwan's election. A space expert from Harvard said the rocket landed in China, and the part that flew over Taiwan was way up in space, like where the International Space Station goes. He thinks Taiwan is making too big a deal out of it because satellites pass over Taiwan all the time. The foreign minister in Taiwan was talking to reporters when the alert came on everyone's phones, saying it was a satellite launch from China and using the word missile in English. He said the satellite launch is part of a bunch of things China does to bother Taiwan, like those recent cases of Chinese balloons flying over the island. Taiwan's big opposition party, the Kuomintang, didn't like how the government used the alert about the satellite launch, saying it shouldn't be a tool for elections. The KMT chairman, Eric Chu, told reporters that people are worried if the alert was a mistake or if someone had a specific goal in mind. He thinks the ruling party is just blaming everything on China interfering with the election. But the spokesperson for Vice President Lai Ching-te, who's running for president with the ruling party, said the alert was important to keep people informed and calm. He said the defense ministry should be open and honest, especially about national security, and it shouldn't be used for politics. Taiwan's defense ministry said it warned people about the satellite launch because it cared about national security, not because it wanted to play politics. They promised to check and fix the English alert system, but they said it's not about politics, just making it better. A person from Taiwan who knows about these things said China usually launches satellites close to Taiwan, not over it, so there's usually no need for alerts because falling parts aren't a problem. This time though, the satellite took a different path, flying right over Taiwan. The alert was given because they were worried something might fall off the rocket. The defense ministry said the rocket pieces fell in China, not Taiwan, and the rocket didn't go the way it was supposed to. A guy named Ko Wen-je, running for president with the Taiwan People's Party, said this mix-up shows that Taiwan and China need a better way to talk to each other. He thinks not having a good way to talk might cause problems by accident. Both the Taiwan People's Party and the big opposition party KMT said if they win the election, they'll try to talk with China again. The key question arises here: could war erupt over Taiwan? The big worry for US people watching China is that their growing military strength and bold moves coupled with the tense vibes from the Taiwan Strait might lead to a clash. The deal is that China hasn't ruled out using force to bring Taiwan back into the fold, and the US is all about defending Taiwan if China decides to throw it down. According to a 2021 report, China's military seems to be gearing up for a scenario where they could forcibly reunite Taiwan with the People's Republic of China. Now, experts can't agree on when this invasion might happen. Some think it's on the horizon, while others say it might take a bit longer, maybe until 2049, which aligns with Xi Jinping's dream for China. The recent Russia-Ukraine situation got people talking, with some thinking China might get bolder, while others reckon they might play it safe. Anyway, China's military is seriously prepping for a Taiwan contingency, and Taiwan, despite boosting defense spending, might need some backup to hold its own against China, given the huge difference in their defense budgets. Here is a quick reminder of how historically China tried to intimidate Taiwan. China has been pulling all sorts of tricks, trying to get Taiwan to cozy up with the mainland without actually starting a fight. Since Tsai took the reins in 2016, they've been cranking up the pressure. Imagine more Chinese bombers, fighter jets, and spy planes moving around Taiwan, flexing their military muscles. They've even started parading warships and aircraft carriers through the Taiwan Strait just to remind everyone they're there. Now, cyber warfare is their go-to move. Thousands of cyber attacks rain down on Taiwan daily, with China aiming at government agencies. The numbers skyrocketed in recent years. Back in 2020, Taiwan pointed fingers at 4 Chinese groups, accusing them of hacking into government agencies and messing with thousands of official email accounts since 2018. But it's not just the military and cyber stuff. China's got a whole bag of non-military moves. They slammed the brakes on cross-strait communication in 2016, put the squeeze on tourism to Taiwan, and even leaned on big companies worldwide to treat Taiwan like it's just another province of China. And if any country gets too chummy with Taiwan, China isn't shy about playing hardball. Just look at what happened with Lithuania in 2021. They cut off trade just because Lithuania opened a Taiwanese office in its capital. On top of everything else, China's been meddling in Taiwan's elections like it's a political soap opera. They're all about spreading fake news on social media and tightening their grip on Taiwanese media outlets. In the 2020 election, they went all out, throwing disinformation like confetti, trying to mess with Tsai and give the KMT's candidate a boost. It's China's way of trying to shake things up, make people lose trust in Taiwan's politics, and stir the pot in Taiwanese society. But here's the thing. Despite all that, the DPP, led by Tsai, keeps coming out on top in recent elections, giving China a bit of a reality check. Taiwan's democracy is still a young gun, considering the KMT had its martial law party from 1949 to 1987. Back then, they weren't exactly the poster child for political freedom, crushing dissent and giving indigenous Taiwanese a rough time. But since the early 90s, Taiwan's been flexing its democratic muscles, having free elections and passing the power baton between parties without too much drama. In Taiwan, there's this big commotion about a Chinese satellite, a false alarm, and some serious accusations right before their big presidential election. Some say it's all about national security, not politics, but the other side isn't buying it, claiming it's a political thing. China's just shrugging, saying the satellite thing is normal. The whole mess is shining a spotlight on the already complicated relationship between Taiwan and China. With everyone pointing fingers, it's clear some serious trust issues are going on. The incident is making people talk about how Taiwan and China need to sort out their communication problems to avoid accidental blow-ups. Join the conversation and share your insights. We want to hear your perspective on Far East drama. Your thoughts matter, so please drop them in the comments below.